Hi Leo, welcome to the full moon in Aquarius reading for August 19th, 2024. Full moons close out cycles. This is a rather tense and laborious period that we're going through. Probably started on Saturday and goes through around the 21st. I've been listening to quite a few astrology reports, and um, it can be difficult, but there are some interesting solutions that come from it. And I think that's why we have these difficult periods anyway. But in all the readings that I've been doing, there has always been a wonderful outcome and a new beginning, a new solution that comes from this tense period. So be optimistic, or try to. um, the direction that your reading is going in is number 6, consciousness, deserving. However, it was reversed. So we do have to look at that. This card in reverse brings an important message. It's your sense of deserving is kind of out of alignment with your truth. Um, so maybe the things that you've been hoping for are sort of falling away. And this is possibly because you can be doubtful about situations or feeling unworthy. But these are self limiting blocks, um, and it blocks your opportunities and outcomes that you really, really want. So you kind of have to get out of your own way when this card is reversed. Um, you kind of ask yourself, why you think you're unworthy, or there may be some rejection where love or success at work is concerned, maybe parental um, uh, judgment or judgmental parents can be a situation here. Um, but you have to understand your place in the universe, your divinity, right? Who you really are. This is asking that you claim your self-esteem that comes from someplace deeper. Um, it's asking you to understand the worthiness of your eternal identity, right? What you are on a much deeper level. Okay, so that's the direction the reading is going in. And like I said, this is a pretty tense period, so this may be the tension and the thing that you're grappling with during these next 2 weeks. The first set of cards is where you find yourself at the time of the full moon, and or if you are consciously, actively closing out a situation, you'll find that here. The center set of cards is you in this situation. So what you're feeling, how you're thinking, what you're doing, you can find that in this set. And the last set of cards is probable outcome. Probable because some things we can change if we have all the proper information, and some things we are meant to experience always to further our growth. It may not always seem like it, but nevertheless, that's what it is. All right, let's have a look here. Well, you have 2 tough cookies here on either side of you, and those are very critical energies, right? I'll get into the specifics in a minute. But you have 3 air cards, and that is very mental activity and actions that you take. And you have 3 earth cards, so material, the material. So what you're thinking about the material world. Interesting. The King of Swords is associated with Libra for me. Very logic type people. Facts and figures are important to this person. They rarely allow emotion to dictate their responses or their mental activity or their decision making. They do weigh things out, is often a very militaristic mind, um, or pragmatic. I want to say very regimented type of way of thinking. And they are often associated with the law, the police, lawyers, mediators, military, that kind of way of thinking, very regimented, very by the law kind of energy. And they can have sharp, pointy features. That's how you're going to recognize them. High cheekbones, pointy nose, pointy chin, sharp. Sharp mind as well. Can be intelligent, but regimented, okay? Um, Associated with the sign Libra for me, this particular card. And with that, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is an offer that's being made. And it's a good, firm offer. This is the only knight in the deck that is not moving. The horse is very stable. Timing is super important with the Knight of Pentacles. So for some, it can appear as procrastination, and sometimes it is, but timing is really important. And because this knight knows when to plant, he knows when to harvest, he knows when to plow, he just knows the best timing for things. There's a very heavy energy, though, for sure, but it's very stable. So there is a nice firm offer here. Can be with something that you are just starting. This is my apprenticeship card. There are creative energies around the Three of Pentacles, so creative solutions. For some people, this is even like sprucing up your home, painting, rearranging, and making an addition to the house or something like that, or to business, whatever. But it is often giving instruction or receiving instruction. But it is kind of something that we're just starting out with. It's a very apprenticeship card. So something can be offered to you that maybe you are just getting started, or it's like your first try at it, your first attempt. But it is very creative, and it is creative solutions. I like this card a lot. There's a very artistic flair to it, but also a very spiritual one. Okay. You are, you're sharing. You have the Six of Pentacles. And this is a very altruistic energy. It is the haves and the have-nots, and people who wish to help out. It can be minor illnesses and the medications that you take for it. And I always, when this card pops up, I always say it's a good time to talk to your practitioner to make sure that the supplements and vitamins and minerals and possible medications that you're taking are all working well together. Six is harmony, six is balance, and so it is the haves giving to the have-nots. Okay, it's a very charitable card. It's very kind-hearted and charitable. And so you could be helping somebody out, but you could be very worried about them or yourself or your situation, or you may be needing some help for yourself, because the Six of Swords is a thought that sort of gets away from you. It's a thought that you think that you can't get out of your head, and it goes over and over and over in your head, and can keep you up at night. You may even be having difficulty sleeping. But this card asks you that when you do have a thought that won't leave you, the idea here is to do something very physical. Get out of your head. Do something physical. go garden, go help other people, right? If you have a worry, it's very often that when you do some help for other people, you do some volunteer work or something like that, that it's helpful. But we are talking about the deserving card, right? And so perhaps somebody's helping you out because this is an offer of some sort and you don't feel like you're worthy of it, or you fear that you cannot live up to the expectations. That's also possible here. Now, the Nine of Swords. This gentleman is, or female, or whoever, this person is under a blanket of stars. I don't know if you can see them here, but there's a lot of the symbols of the sun, Aries, and the astrological symbols, right? The planetary aspects that are kind of ruling the situation at the moment, which is very proper because it is a very difficult, tense, planetary aspected situation. So as the planets move on, so will this situation. However, it is asking you to have a good look at what you think you deserve. That is for sure here. Okay. Moderation, moderation, moderation with the Temperance card. Patience and moderation. Moderation in thinking, but 6 is also moderate, right? 6 is also finding balance. Not too much, not too little, just in between. And weighing those situations out, because he does have a scale there, so making sure that everything is even Steven. But the Temperance card also asks us not to mind our temper, Leo. Leo is a fire sign, right? So they can have a fiery temper. So perhaps you are trying to bring that into balance as well. Find harmony where the temperance, where your passion and your emotion are concerned, right? Your temper. But it is also asking you, and I find this very interesting, where what we were just talking about here, in finding your worth in your eternal identity. Temperance card is saying, spiritualize what it is you do. Make it mean something, right? Give it a purpose, give it a meaning. It's not just doing the dishes, it's purifying your plates. See what I mean? It there's something that we approach things differently when we give it a depth, right? We are polishing our soul here with the Temperance card. We're turning base metals into gold, and we're putting those final touches on something, whether it's an actual physical thing or our own, more importantly, our internal reality. What we think of ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, who we truly are, right? Not in this physical realm, but beyond. Our spirit, our soul. Okay. All right. The outcome. You have the Queen of Swords, another very critical person around you. So, maybe these are parents. Maybe these are parental units that have really high expectations, or perhaps they're people at work that have very high expectation. Queen of Swords is also going to have sharp features. She's often very refined. They have a critical mind and have no problem cutting somebody off that they deem unworthy. They're very critical people. They clear the questions in their head, but they can create a scuffle on the ground. Do you know what I mean? Look at the cards. Look at the energy that she's creating on the ground. But from her head up, there's clarity, right? This is another person with sharp features. If it's a friend, there's somebody who can fight for you tooth and nail. They will defend you from anybody who tries to get the better of you. And they can also be people who are saying that you are worthy, right? that there is a worthiness there. However, you have the Two of Pentacles with that, and so these are multitasking situations. Again, more of the material world. Two is the number of assimilation and envisioning. It is duality, so it can be choice. But here we have the two of them together in an infinite lock, right? Infinity. And so it's juggling situations. And this is why it's kind of the multitasking energy. It's trying to maintain balance, diplomacy, really important here with that Queen of Swords. It is also applying yourself, an application to the situation, especially because you have 2 and 3 here. So it's really applying yourself to, and you could be really worried about it, right? Somebody's helped you out and said, I want you to do this thing for me, and you're really worrying about it and trying to put the perfect touch on it with the Temperance card, trying to really polish it up and make it look fabulous, and really applying yourself to the goal at hand. Can also be an agreement, number 2, the frequency of 2. All right, so you have the Five of Wands here. That can be some agitation, but it is cooperative efforts, and it's people who are working together to, they all have the same goal in mind, but everybody has a different way of wanting to get there. And I can see that here because you have 2 very forceful people around you. I mean, they carry a sword, right? So that should say it all. Highly intellectual, but very critical. And so, again, everybody has the same goal in mind, but everybody has a different way of wanting to get there. So that can create some agitation. It can be lively debates, right? We'll debate the situation. But it feels very competitive, even within this feeling of we're all trying to work it out together. So I can see the need to find balance and equilibrium, to apply yourself to the goal, and to be very discerning about it, and even to have a critical eye. That makes sense too. But I think for me that Temperance card is really, really important here. What a Spirit wants you to know. Explore the unknown. The unexplained awaits you. That's very interesting. Sometimes the Nine of Pentacles can be, I mean, when we're talking about the mystery, it can be spirit. And with the Temperance card there, it's very possible that maybe you feel things at night, or you have some experience at night. Don't be afraid. It's just a mystery, and it's calling you to it. Obviously, if you feel it's negative or whatever, don't listen. But there is something deeper here. And it's funny because the 2 very pragmatic court cards, very logic, don't really give way to mystery, but the Temperance card does. There is a mystery here with that 10 or 9 of Swords, but it's possibly your fear of it that is keeping you awake. Spiritualize with the Temperance card. Very interesting, Leo. Okay. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful. I will return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Good luck with this period that we're all going through that's very tense. But again, there should be some good solution. And for me, it really feels like it's on a higher level for you. A lot of people have been getting the Ace of Wands. And for me, this really feels like it's deeper, even though you only have one major arcana card. With that mystery card there is something deeper here for you. Okay? All right. Thank you for listening. See you on the other side. Bye for now.